Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be tuning in from. Welcome back to another session with GMAT Club in the Master's Spotlight. This session we have UC Riverside School of Business, and they're going to be going over their various master's programs that they're offering in their business school. And so I want to kind of hand it over and let Tamra introduce herself and then introduce her team, and then she'll go into her presentation, and afterwards we'll have a Q&A. Make sure you check the stream, the comments. There'll be links that they'll be posting in there. And so Tamra, go ahead.
Thanks so much, Josh. Hi, I'm Tamra Johnson, and I am the Associate Director of International Relations at the School of Business at the University of California, Riverside. That is a mouthful, isn't it? I am so excited to introduce two of my student ambassadors, and I'm going to let them briefly say hello to all of you. So first I have Emily. Emily, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily. I am a first-year MBA student at UC Riverside, concentrating in marketing, and I am from Malaysia, so I'm an international student. I'm currently a student ambassador for the school as well.
Thanks, Emily. And Varesha, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Varesha Pereira, and I'm a first-year professional MBA student with UCR AGSM, concentrating in management. I'm also an international student, and I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I'm happy to be here and connect with you all.
Thank you so much. And in the chat, my colleague Abigail Wheeler will be there answering questions, so engage and interact with her as well. We are really excited to be here with all of you today to be able to present to you our graduate programs. Just a little bit so you know something about the University of California system. It is a 10-campus system. We have 5 campuses in Northern California and 5 in Southern California. I'm sure you've heard of Berkeley, right? UCLA. We are a part of that same system. You know, what's great about that is there is a lot of opportunities, a lot of resources, a lot of networking for students that come to the University of California, Riverside. UCR, some quick facts about us. We are actually the fastest rising ranked university in the United States right now. We're kind of proud of that fact. For the second year in a row, we have been #1 in social mobility. And UCR is among the top 11% of world universities. You know, we have some amazing faculty. We'll talk a little bit about the faculty at the School of Business in a few minutes, but we are also known as being really a great university for your return on your investment. These are all facts that we think are important. Now, ranking is important, right? But there are so many other things that are as well, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit as we go along. Where are we located? So Riverside, we are approximately 1 hour east of Los Angeles. So you guys, we are close to a lot of really fun things like Disneyland, the mountains, the beach, the desert. It is a great place to study because we are so close to so many things to do, but we are also very close to industry. And that's where you're going to find your jobs and your internships, right? Riverside is also known as really being a multicultural hub of arts and cultures in the inland Southern California. We are also known as being a very safe community. And those are all really important things to consider when you're looking at a graduate program. We are located in an ideal spot for a business program because half of the goods that actually flow into the United States actually flow through our area. We are known as being a supply chain hub for really the United States as a whole. Remember how I talked about Riverside? So Riverside is actually ranked #19 for best cities to grow a business. So entrepreneurship is alive and well in Riverside. Remember, I talked about it being a safe city. We are actually ranked #14th as a safe city in the US. So who is the School of Business? Who are we? We have a vision to be an internationally recognized leader in business education and research. And our mission is to really create knowledge through impactful research and unlock potential for our students through exceptional educational experiences and to really foster success in an innovative and collaborative environment. We have some, I think, great values of inclusion, integrity, innovation, and collaboration. We are a top 100 U.S. News and World Report business school. We are ranked very highly in the Princeton Review, and probably one of those really important things to look at is we are an AACSB accredited school. You know, this is a very important accreditation, especially for getting a job in the United States. Employers do look at that. So if you're looking at a graduate school, make sure it's AACSB accredited. So UCR, AGSM, a little bit about us. We are represented with our alumni and our students by 60 different countries. Great networking opportunities. Currently, we have about 420 students. We're a small cohort. What's great about that is we are very community, very family oriented. If you need help, we're there for you. We know you by your name, not by a number. All of our programs are STEM designated, so you will get up to 3 years of OPT to legally work in the United States. And we do have 5 different programs that you can choose from. We're going to talk a little bit about each of them. Our MBA class profile kind of looks like this, about a 3.42 average GPA, 612 average GMAT. Your average age is about 25, and we are really almost 50% when it comes international and domestic, as well as female and male. So we are very female-friendly program. About 89% of our students are employed within 3 months of graduation. That's a really good rate. So look at these averages and go, well, you know what? I'm 35 or I'm 21. That's okay, because this is an average. I like to say we are very diverse, not only when it comes to ethnicity, but when it comes to age, undergraduate majors, you know, work experience. All of these things make your classroom experience so much richer, because you have so many different perspectives coming to the table in the classroom. Some of the program components for our MBA is there is a required internship. We do have a career development course, which I think is a fabulous course that really prepares you to head out into the workforce. What do you need for your resume, your cover letter? How do you network? How do you find jobs through social media? You can do a capstone or a thesis. You know, we give you that choice. We let you tailor it to what best fits your needs. And we do have weekend and evening classes available. The great thing is, in the first year, you are doing these 9 core courses that are really building that very strong business foundation for you. And in your second year, you can choose from one of our 7 different areas of concentrations. We have a lot of great things available for our students to choose from. Again, it's really tailoring this MBA to fit you and your career needs. It is a 2-year program. Our Master of Finance, this program is, you know, I like to say it's a program on steroids, because it's a program where you get in, you get out very, very quickly. It is a 48-unit program. It's done in 1 year, 9 months. It is STEM designated. I really, I love this program because it is really preparing you for that financial career that you want. You know, that area is booming now. You can choose so many different career paths, from corporate finance, risk management, quantitative research, all those things that I wouldn't want to do, but there are so many career opportunities for students. Our faculty in this are so well known. You know, some of the Google Scholar citations for our faculty are so high. And, you know, a lot of students actually come to our program because of the faculty that teach in this program. You know, we also have the Bloomberg Terminal available for our students in this program. Our Master Professional Accountancy program was developed with Ernst & Young to make sure that students that took this program were completely ready to go onto the accounting world. It completely prepares them to take the CPA exam. We have 100% CPA pass rate historically for our MPAC graduates. That's pretty much unheard of. Now, we have 2 tracks for this. Our first track is if you have all of our prerequisites. So you probably need an accounting undergraduate major, but if you don't have it, can you still do the program? Absolutely. You can do what we call our track 2. So you're coming in, you're doing those prereqs, and then you're going into the graduate program. Just like our Master of Finance, it is a 48-unit, 1 year, 9-month program. And again, this is also STEM designated. All right, guys, we're super excited because our Master of Science in Business Analytics is a brand new program. We have been working at bringing it for the last 2 years, and we are starting with our cohort in fall, so September 2021. This program is already super popular. The amount of applications we have gotten for it is unprecedented. We're excited to be able to offer really very specifics in business analytics. But the great thing about this is students are going to have an option to really take 3 different career tracks. And so again, we let you really tailor this program. You know, what do you want to go into? Do you want to go into marketing analytics? Do you want to go into finance? Do you want to go into operations? So you get to choose from these different specialized areas. So it's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to it. Again, guys, this is that 1-year program. You get in, you get out, you going into your career. 48 units, 1 year, but it can be a flexible pace. We think it's important for you to be able to really tailor-make all of our programs to really best meet your needs. It's exciting. There's going to be actually 2 different capstone courses for this to really hone down into those skills that you're learning through this program. Again, it is STEM designated for our international students that really would like to be able to spend more time in the U.S. developing their career. Remember how I talked about faculty earlier? Our faculty at the School of Business are pretty amazing faculty. We have 2 of our faculty that were recently named in the Poets and Quants 40 under 40. While it's unheard of to have 1 for most schools, to have 2 is pretty amazing, and we're pretty proud of that. We are also in the UC system 2nd in our research in the business schools. We're actually only behind Berkeley. We are above UCLA, we're above UC San Diego. So we like to pat ourselves on the back for that. And we hold 8 different editorships in top business journals with our faculty. And again, another ranking for our faculty is in the UT Dallas rankings of publications, our faculty are number 86 in total number of publications in top journals. So we really like to talk about the fact our faculty are excellent faculty in their research, their education. But I think what's more important than that is they are there for the students. They're there to help our students. If you're having a problem, you can go and do office hours with them. So some of the things that we offer is we have over 350 different organizations on our campus that you can be a part of. But some of the things that we're really proud of is that we have a student associations for our graduate students to be a part of. It really helps open up your network system. We also have global opportunities. So do you want to expand a little bit more? You can go to Oxford, Vietnam. You can do these short global programs that are about 10 days long that really is opening up that global perspective to you once again. These are faculty led and they're a really great addition to your education. All right, so why do you want to get a graduate degree? Most individuals want to get a graduate degree simply because it will help their career, right? Better career, better pay. We have our own career development center that does help our students from one-on-one coaching, individual coaching, career assessments, LinkedIn, to workshops and webinars on salary negotiation, personal branding. These things are extremely important. They also will bring in executives from different industries to talk about what it is that they're looking for from applicants. They might talk about their own career path, maybe mock interviews or those real interviews. And then we use a platform called Handshake where students can actually find those job leads and internship opportunities. In addition to that, our Career Center does send out a bi-weekly newsletter with opportunities for our students. So we really try and provide all the resources that our students do need in order to make them successful in their career. Our application is super easy. It is an online application. All we require is a resume, 1 essay. That's all we need is 1 essay. It's kind of nice. You can combine in our application, which shows for 2 different essays, but make it 1. We only require 1 letter of recommendation as well, could be from a professor, it could be from maybe a supervisor at work. And during the application process, we only need unofficial transcripts and degree certificate if you've already graduated. So those are the things we need. If you are an international student, we will need a TOEFL or IELTS score. The nice thing is that right now we are waiving the GMAT or GRE, so you don't have to take it. It's a great time to apply. However, if you do have the GMAT or GRE, it could enhance your profile, so just know that. Our next round coming up will be, actually, it's going to be the end of March. That date got moved to March 31st. So the next round, you've got a couple months to be working on an application. Let's talk really quickly about financial award and scholarships. We all want scholarships, right? So we do offer great scholarships to our students, and especially those students that come through our GMAT Club partnership. We do look at you more closely for even a better scholarship. In addition to that, as an MBA student, you could be a TA in your second year. This provides an additional little over $38,000 of funding in that second year. However, in your first year or for specialized master's programs, you could be a reader for a professor. You're helping them grade tests and papers. You could be an on-campus student worker, and those are paid on by an hourly wage. So those are opportunities. I always like to make sure students know that there's a lot of financial opportunities for you to take part in. So I am going to show you, I want you to take a picture of this because Emily and Varesha are ambassadors that are here to answer questions for you, not just now, but in the future. You can send them an email and say, hey, I have a question from a student perspective, because student perspectives are so much better than mine. You can ask them, what do you really think about the campus? What do you really think about accommodations? And they'll be there to answer that. Here's my contact information. Please feel free to take a photo of this as well. I know this is being recorded, so you can watch this again later so that you can get my contact information. But we are here for you, and we will help you through this process. So we're going to bring our students back on, and our ambassadors are going to each just talk a little bit about their experiences and what they feel about our program, because I want you to hear it directly from them. So Emily, could you go ahead and start off and talk about your own personal experience?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Once again, thank you for having me here. I'm Emily, and I'm a first-year MBA student at UCR, concentrating in marketing. I am an international student, like I said, originally from Malaysia, and I did my undergrad at The Ohio State University. So my experience with UCR has been really great. I learned a lot from my professors, mainly because they're very experienced in the areas that they specialize in. And I think the classes are very robust, but I was able to build a lot of my critical thinking skills, which are definitely useful when I go out there, trying to get a job and all that. But what's better is that I have a very diverse group of classmates. So some of them have lots of working experiences, so it's very valuable when it comes to class discussions. But from the faculty staff members to my classmates, everyone has been really helpful. And just knowing that I'm not alone in this journey, because it gets scary. Starting a graduate program, it gets scary, but knowing that I'm not alone has been really helpful as well. Like Tamra said, I've also gotten a scholarship, so that came in really handy. But with the pandemic and going on in a different learning environment, the school has provided many resources for us to connect with each other and opportunities as well. So we've had speaker series, career panelists, networking events, and career preparation workshops. So even though everything is currently virtual, there's still a strong connection between the students and the school. And like Tamra said, all programs are STEM designated. So coming in as an international student, I think it's very valuable and helpful.
Thanks so much, Emily. Varesha?
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Varesha, and I'm a first-year professional MBA student with UCR AGSM, concentrating in management. I'm also an international student originally from Sri Lanka, and I did complete my bachelor's degree in psychology also at UC Riverside. So I started the application process with UCR AGSM during the height of the pandemic, but I was very grateful that the process was so smooth and seamless. In fact, it was very convenient. I started off by attending a virtual UCR live information session where I got to connect with the UCR admissions team and ask them any questions that I had about the programs and the various financial aid that they offered. Following this, I started the online application and writing the statement of purpose. As Tamra said, it was a very easy process, very, very straightforward. After submitting my application, I received my admissions letter in about 2 weeks, and I was excited to see that AGSM had offered me a pretty generous scholarship, which was a key factor that impacted my decision to attend UCR AGSM. I had lots of questions though, lots and lots of questions before finally accepting the offer, and I was very lucky to have the support of various staff members on the UCR admissions team, such as Tamra herself and Steve Chen, who is the assistant director. I was very humbled to receive support from various leadership members on the UCR admissions team. And then finally, something that really helped me a lot was a program that was launched last summer by one of our co-chief ambassadors of the Student Ambassador Program, Amisha, where she launched something called Summer with UCR. This was a channel on Slack that I joined before actually accepting the offer, and I was able to connect with other admitted students as well as the current students at AGSM. So I was able to connect with them on a personal level and really ask them questions that I had, about the program itself, about the classes, the faculty, and their experience overall. So overall, it was a very great experience, and I'm very appreciative for all the support that I got.
Thanks so much. So I think Josh is going to take over and we're going to do some Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Tamra, that was a phenomenal presentation. A lot of great information for prospective students. And Varisha and Emily, thank you for giving your perspectives and so far your experience regarding UC Riverside. And so to start off, it's no secret that we're, in the middle of a pandemic. And I know that is a big concern for a lot of prospective students is how are the courses going to be administered? What is the networking going to be like and so forth? And so that being said, how has COVID-19 affected the criteria of admissions for international students?
It's a great question because, of course, we have been in this pandemic and we're still in the pandemic. I do believe that we are starting to come out of it slowly but surely, and especially with vaccines being more readily available. Our campus, the University of California as a whole, our president has said that we will be on in person in the fall. And so we are fully expecting to be in person. What that looks like, we don't know. So we are looking forward to actually having students back with us in person. I have to tell you, Josh, this is pretty amazing that our applications have not fallen at all during the pandemic. We continue to get record numbers of applications. It's actually a great time to apply to a graduate school. With the economy the way it is, who knows where students can go and get jobs. So venturing out and doing your graduate degree now instead of waiting, it's a good time. Once you're done with that graduate degree, the economy is going to be, just kind of going gangbusters. And so that's going to be a great time to be able to graduate with that graduate degree.
Awesome. Sticking kind of with that, COVID and the impact it has, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but are you seeing an increase in international student applications? Is it increasing the competitiveness of the potential cohorts? So what exactly are you seeing from the admissions side?
Yeah, that's actually an excellent question because we are seeing more applications. I actually was a little shocked last year at the amount of applications that we received, and it is changing the applicant pool. It is becoming more competitive. Students are going to need better GPAs. They might need to enhance their statement of purpose and really basically sell us on who you are and why a graduate degree would be good for us and why you would fit into our culture. Those students that take the GMAT or GRE, while it's not readily available in all areas right now, if it is, it's a good thing to take because it could enhance your profile because the application pool is very competitive.
Absolutely. There's a question that came in here. So how common is it for an individual in Europe or another country to study a master's in finance at UCR and then take their education in that degree back to Europe and then land a job in a foreign city such as London or Berlin?
Yeah, so we do have individuals from all over the world that come and do their graduate degree with us. A Master of Finance, specifically, finance, I think, is a very hot career right now all over the world. And so for students that get an advanced degree in the United States, which is still one of the most prestigious degrees you can get in the world, is from the United States, and then returning either to their home country or to Europe somewhere, it just enhances their profile as a candidate for a job. And so the other thing is just to know we have a network system all over the world. In fact, for my ambassadors, we will be doing a session coming up here soon with somebody from London, actually. And so with this network system and really getting to know individuals that are connected with the university, it really does open up your opportunities globally.
Right, absolutely. Varisha and Emily, you can kind of chime in on this one because you likely have more experience in this area from the student perspective. How does the career services at UC Riverside assist students in networking and or getting an internship or looking for positions post-graduation?
Sure, I could go and answer that question. So for the UCR AGSM students specifically, we do have a career development center that's dedicated to our cohort, which I think is incredible. We have the career development center putting on events throughout the quarter from week 1 all the way through week 10. And we do receive a biweekly newsletter where we are able to see all of these upcoming events. So far in just my second quarter, I've already attended a ton of these events, such as learning how to create your resume, more specific for UCR AGSM students, as well as building a cover letter. And we have an internship information session actually coming up in 2 days, which I'm hoping to attend. And following this, we also had networking opportunities, definitely a lot of networking opportunities. So we've had different panels, such as an AGSM entertainment industry career panel, where we have experts from the entertainment industry join us on a panel so that the students themselves can ask them questions about how they started off on their career path and how they ended up in their positions. So we get that opportunity to network, which I really appreciate, given that we're still virtual. I also definitely appreciate something that the CDC launched called the AGSM Executive Mentor Program. I actually signed up for this program, and it was a great opportunity for me to get a mentor from Esri. So I was able to connect with him on a one-to-one personal level and network with him. And that really opened up a lot of opportunities for me in terms of the internships and the scope that I can apply for now.
Awesome. Emily, do you have anything to add? You can give your experience with the career services as well.
Yeah, going off of that, I was also part of the entertainment industry career panel. I personally learned a lot. It's just very valuable because all the industry professionals come in and they bring different perspectives. And I think as a student, especially this during this time, the business environment is changing. So I think AGSM is really providing a platform for students to learn and to be prepared to go out there. Like what Varesha said, I'm also part of the executive mentor program. And both my mentor and I were currently going through a career switch. So that is a great experience. We've been sharing a lot of skills together, like what's good in the supply chain industry and what's up and coming in the marketing industry. So that experience personally provided a lot of insight to me. So just being able to take advantage of that as an international student, I think it has been really helpful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Tamra, international students, they have to typically take the TOEFL or a similar exam. So is it mandatory for the TOEFL score to be submitted if the applicant's undergraduate degree was issued at a school that's primary instruction was in English?
Great question, because yes and no. If they went to school in the US, the answer is no. If they went to school in a country that the language is something other than English, the answer would be yes. However, then there's kind of this gray area of a maybe. We could also do a personal interview with them and we could waive that. So the answer is yes, no, and maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me take a look here. Question just came in. What would you say is the one thing in the application that affects the chances of admission the most? So I guess, what do you look for the most? Is there one key thing that kind of catapults that candidate forward or draws them back?
So there isn't really one thing, because we really look at individuals in a very holistic approach. We will look at your scores, your GPA, and if you take the GMAT or GRE, we will read completely your statement of purpose. We will read completely the letter of recommendation. If you have work experience, we will look at that. We don't require work experience, but if you have it, we will look at that. So we really take everything into consideration. And the nice thing is we look at each individual on their own merits. We do not compare you to anyone else. So I would not say that there's one thing that's greater than the other. The one caveat to that is make sure you have a strong statement of purpose. Make sure it tells us a story about you. Look it through. Make sure that there's no grammatical errors, spelling errors. While you do not want someone else to write that for you, you do want someone else to proofread that for you. In fact, maybe a couple people, but tell us a story about you. Help us get to know who you are. Maybe you didn't do so well in your second year of your undergraduate degree. Maybe there was a reason for that. You could always supply a supplemental, just short couple paragraphs explaining why you received several failed grades. Maybe there was a death in your family. Maybe you had an illness. Tell us about that. That will enhance the more we know about you and enhance your profile.
Absolutely. Sticking to the kind of application side of things, would applying in later rounds lower the chances of a positive admissions decision?
Not necessarily. But what it might lower is your chance at a better scholarship. So while we do accept students through all rounds, we only have so much money for scholarships at the beginning. And as every round goes, that scholarship money goes away. So I always recommend students apply sooner rather than later because their chance of a better scholarship is there.
Absolutely. Was UC Riverside when COVID hit, and did you, I guess you guys moved virtual as well, the instruction? Awesome. And Varisha and Emily, have you done virtual courses with UC Riverside? Yeah, awesome. So that kind of leads into the next question. And Varisha and Emily, feel free to give your input here. The question was, will UC Riverside conduct, I would assume, online classes this coming fall? And Tamra, you may know more on that. And if so, Varisha and Emily, if you could kind of give your experience with that.
I'll just say really quickly, I'll kind of rephrase what I had said earlier, is our University of California system president has committed we will be in person in the fall. Again, we don't know what that's going to look like. Maybe class could be split up, and one day of the week you're in person, one day of the week you are online, and it's flipped. It could just be smaller class sizes all the way around, obviously socially distanced. We're not sure what it's going to look like. So there could be a combination of online and offline. Emily, why don't you talk a little bit about your experience so far with your classes that have been online?
Yeah, for sure. So in the beginning, I took a while to get used to it, to adapt to Zoom and all that. But our professors have provided a really good platform for class discussions and participation as well. So knowing that, being in an MBA program or graduate program, discussions and participation is really important. Just to know your classmates can provide so many different perspectives. So with everything being online, we have a platform called iLearn and eLearn as well. So we just have a lot of discussion boards, and group classes are divided into smaller groups. So I get to work with so many different people. I get to work with a diverse group of people on group assignments. And this one class that I had last quarter, it was business strategy. And we rotated groups every week, almost every week. So that was a great experience for me because I got to work with so many different people. But all in all, I think it has been a great experience because everyone's getting used to doing everything virtually. So professors are learning, we are learning. So just knowing that you're not alone in this journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Varisha, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I just wanted to, going off of what Emily said, I just wanted to add that online classes are your friend. It did take a while to adapt. It did take a while to, adapt to being completely virtual. But I realized that there's so much potential with online classes because we do have recorded lectures. So now we can rewatch the lectures, and that way we can solidify our understanding of the material, which I really appreciate. I also think professors are very accommodating and very understanding. The faculty members at UCR understand that we're all going through an unusual time, a different situation, definitely. So for some of our classmates and peers who are still abroad and taking virtual classes from their home country, our professors are definitely more accommodating for them and, give them special accommodations sometimes to allow them to still actively participate, as Emily said, on those discussion boards and things like that. And apart from the actual virtual classes themselves, I'm very excited and grateful that our cohort has been very strong in terms of community. So we've established our own group chats, we've established our own study sessions. So although we haven't seen each other in person yet, we've definitely connected with quite a few classmates, and I'm very excited to see everyone hopefully in the fall.
Absolutely, thank you. And then there are a couple of questions, they kind of tie in with one another here. One is, what are the post-MBA opportunities at UC Riverside, and kind of which companies do you see recruiting the most?
That's some really good questions. So as I indicated earlier in my presentation, 89% of our students do receive job offers within 3 months of graduating. It's a fairly high number. It's one of, I think, the larger numbers in Southern California for career statistics. Our students go many different ways in many different industries and companies. So we don't have one overarching company. Students have gone into industries of banking, accounting firms, fashion, and of course, entertainment. Being in Southern California, entertainment's been a big one, of course. Real estate, government. There's a lot of different areas that our students do go. The opportunities are very broad.
Right. Absolutely. I think we got time for one or two more questions here. What is one way that a potential applicant can address a weakness in their application?
Yeah, so I would say if, as I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, if maybe you had some bad grades in a particular year or a semester or quarter, whatever it might be, doing like a supplemental essay. And that essay does not need to be long, a couple paragraphs explaining what went wrong, just so we know. I mean, we are all human. We know that sometimes life happens. Just let us know. Let us know what that life happening was. I would say just a supplemental essay. You don't even necessarily need to put it in your statement of purpose unless it flows well in your statement of purpose, and then you don't need that additional supplemental essay. But again, it only needs to be a couple paragraphs. Perfect.
And then probably the last question here is, and Varisha and Emily, you can give your input on this as well. Could you describe some, student events that UC Riverside does, and maybe even in particular for international students?
Sure, I can go ahead and answer that question. So since I did complete my bachelor's degree in at UCR as well, I do have an idea of some of the bigger, student events that UCR hosts. I would say the campus life is amazing. It's incredible. And I miss it all the time. And I'm waiting and looking forward to going back to all of that. But to describe some of the big student events that we do have a dedicated board called ASPB that plans some of these large scale events where we have concerts, musical concerts. So we have about 2 or 3 a year, where we invite some very big artists to come, and we're able to all get together and enjoy the music together. We also have invited speakers who will come, comedians, famous actors, YouTubers who will just come and share their story, which is very inspiring for us to hear. We have a couple other events like roller skating or the silent disco. I really miss that one. So we have a couple of fun events definitely at UCR. And then specifically for international students, I was actually one of the founding presidents of the International Student Union at UCR, which is a student organization dedicated to assisting international students to integrate into the community and to meet domestic students as well. So the International Student Union would kind of focus on planning a few events off campus so that international students could really get that Southern California experience. So we would plan bonfires at, Huntington Beach, or a Big Bear trip, so we could go see some snow and go snowboarding, and then trips to San Diego. So we would really go all over Southern California together. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. It was definitely a fun time, definitely. And now that we are virtual, UCR is committed to providing us with the same experience that we had when we were in person. So we do still have a lot of events online, and I'm excited to attend all of them. They're usually invited speakers. They're usually opportunities to connect with people and listen to their stories, which I find really inspiring for me.
Awesome.
And just really quick, Josh, the School of Business, we like to party. We throw really good parties. We try and do welcome events and end of the year events. But in addition to that, we feel it is very important for students to understand some of our holidays. So for Thanksgiving, we actually go to our dean's home and we have Thanksgiving dinner at our dean's home before Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
But we also feel it's important for our domestic students to be able to experience holidays centered around our international students. So we celebrated Holi, the Color Festival, and Diwali and Chinese New Year. So we
Awesome.
like to have parties.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're running down on time here. Tamra, Varisha, Emily, I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day, sharing your passion you have for UC Riverside and the programs that are offered there. To those watching, we have 4 more days of the Master's Spotlight, so make sure that you register. There's links in the comment section. Also, UC Riverside put links to the various parts of their website to find more information. And so I'll go ahead and wrap it up without any other questions or anything like that. And we'll move into the student panel here in about 15 minutes. So ladies, you have yourselves a good afternoon and talk later.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, everyone.